Number one, the first cut, control the frame. Listen carefully. The world you live in is not ruled by strength or intelligence or morality. It is ruled by perception. Whoever controls the frame controls the outcome. Most people lose before the game even begins because they enter conversations emotionally naked, reactive, hungry to be understood. That is weakness, and weakness is always exploited. The first Machiavellian truth you must accept is this: mind games only work on those who play unconsciously. From this moment forward, you stop being unconscious. You stop reacting. You stop explaining yourself. You stop chasing validation. You become the one who defines the temperature in every room. When someone provokes you, they are testing your frame. When someone disrespects you, they are inviting you into their chaos. Declining that invitation is power. Silence is not passivity. It is strategic ambiguity. When you don't immediately respond, the other person fills the silence with their own insecurity. They reveal their intentions. They overplay their hand. This is how you reverse the game. You are not here to win arguments. You are here to dominate outcomes. You speak less, but every word lands heavier. You move slower, but everyone adjusts to your pace. You don't rush to correct misunderstandings because confusion keeps you unpredictable. Predictability is death in psychological warfare. Let them guess. Let them project. Let them expose themselves while you remain unreadable. This is not about cruelty, it's about control. Cold control, masculine restraint, emotional discipline so sharp it cuts through manipulation without effort. The moment you stop needing approval, you become dangerous. The moment you stop defending your character, you elevate above attack. You must understand this deeply. People who try to play mind games are addicted to reaction. Starve them, and they collapse. Give them nothing, and they unravel. You are not invisible, you are untouchable. From this foundation, everything changes. This is the first cut. Control the frame, and the rest of the game bends to you. Number two, weaponize silence. Let them defeat themselves. Silence is not empty, it is loaded. Most men fear it because silence removes their masks. When you stay quiet, you force others to confront themselves, and that is terrifying to them. Here is the second Machiavellian trick. Never rush to respond when emotions are high, yours or theirs. Speed is the language of insecurity. Calm delay is the language of power. When someone attacks you verbally, when they provoke, accuse, or bait, your silence becomes a mirror. They expect resistance. They crave reaction. When it doesn't come, their mind spirals. They begin to doubt their position. They talk more. They reveal motives. They contradict themselves. This is not accidental. This is psychological gravity pulling weak minds off balance. You must train yourself to sit comfortably in the pause. No nervous smiles, no defensive posture, just stillness. That stillness communicates dominance without a single word. It says, I am not threatened by you. And nothing destabilizes a manipulator more than realizing they are insignificant to your emotional state. Understand this clearly. The person who speaks first after a charged moment usually loses leverage. Silence creates asymmetry. It puts pressure on them while you remain untouched. And when you finally speak, if you choose to, it must be precise, minimal, and final. No explanations, no justifications. Machiavellian power lies in making others work harder than you. Let them chase clarity. Let them seek closure. You don't owe them access to your thoughts. Access is earned, not given. This is masculine stoicism in its purest form, emotional self-mastery. You are not suppressing emotions, you are commanding them. You feel everything, but you reveal nothing. People mistake loud confidence for strength, but true power is quiet and immovable. Think of silence as a blade you keep sheathed. You don't swing it wildly. You let its presence do the work. When used correctly, silence makes people anxious, compliant, and desperate for your approval. And here's the ruthless truth. The more they need you to respond, the less you should. This is how you invert power dynamics without aggression. This is how you stay clean while they unravel. Weaponized silence is not avoidance. It is strategic denial. Denial of reaction, denial of control, denial of emotional access. Master this, and mind games collapse before they even begin. Number 3, emotional detachment. Become unreadable. The third Machiavellian trick is emotional detachment, and understand this clearly. It is not coldness, it is sovereignty. The moment people can read your emotions, they can influence you. Your anger becomes a lever. Your excitement becomes bait. Your need for connection becomes a chain. So you remove the handles. You stop broadcasting your inner state. You don't reward curiosity with access. You don't confirm suspicions. You don't deny accusations. You let people sit with uncertainty, because uncertainty weakens their position and strengthens yours. Most mind games rely on emotional hooks: guilt, fear, validation, shame. They only work if you bite. Detachment means you see the hook, acknowledge it, and let it pass. You don't explain why you're calm. You don't justify why you don't care. You simply don't care outwardly. This creates psychological dissonance in others. They expect emotion. They get neutrality. And neutrality feels like rejection to insecure minds. That's when they escalate. That's when they expose their agenda, and you remain still. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. The man who governs himself terrifies those who cannot govern themselves. Emotional detachment is not about being heartless. It's about being ungovernable. You choose when and where emotion is expressed. Never in reaction, always in intention. When someone tries to provoke you and fails, they feel powerless. When they can't read you, they can't predict you. And when they can't predict you, they cannot control you. This is why calm men are often misjudged as weak until it's too late. Your face becomes neutral, your tone stays even, your body language remains relaxed. Inside, you observe everything. Outside, you reveal nothing. This imbalance creates dominance without confrontation. You don't need to intimidate. You don't need to threaten. Your detachment does the work. People lean in, trying to decode you. They overinvest. They overthink. Meanwhile, you conserve energy. That conservation is power. Emotional detachment also protects you from manipulation disguised as care. Not everyone who asks about your feelings deserves the truth. Information is currency. Spend it wisely. The more mysterious you are, the more control you retain. And here is the discipline most men fail to develop: resisting the urge to be understood. You don't need to be understood to be effective. You need to be respected. And respect comes from boundaries, not explanations. This is how you become unreadable. This is how you stay ahead of mind games. This is how you step into cold, quiet authority. Number 4, control your reactions. Starve the manipulator. The fourth Machiavellian trick is ruthless self-regulation, because reactions are the oxygen of manipulation. Every time you react impulsively, you give someone information, leverage, and emotional fuel. Understand this. Manipulators don't want to hurt you, they want to move you. If they can make you angry, defensive, excited, or guilty, they can steer your behavior. So you cut the supply, you slow everything down. You create a gap between stimulus and response so wide that nothing can push you without permission. This is masculine stoicism in practice. Not emotional numbness, but emotional command. You feel the surge, you acknowledge it, and you deny it expression. That denial frustrates weak minds. They escalate, they repeat themselves. They try different angles, and each attempt exposes them further. You, meanwhile, stay steady. Calm breathing, relaxed posture, neutral expression. You don't correct them immediately. You don't argue emotionally. You let them talk themselves into exhaustion. Remember this law: whoever is emotionally invested is already losing. The one who can walk away internally, even while staying physically present, holds the power. When you stop reacting, people panic because their usual tools stop working. Insults fall flat. Guilt trips feel hollow. Provocations bounce off. This is not passive, it is active restraint. A controlled man is unpredictable, and unpredictability is intimidating. People don't know which move will trigger a response, so they hesitate. Hesitation gives you advantage. You choose when to respond, how to respond, or whether to respond at all. And when you do speak, it's calm, brief, and undeniable. No emotional charge, just fact, boundary, or silence. That contrast between their agitation and your composure reverses the power dynamic instantly. They look unstable. You look grounded. This is psychological judo. You use their energy against them by refusing to mirror it. The hardest part of this discipline is killing the ego's need to win the moment. But Machiavellian power is long-term. You don't win moments, you win positions. You don't dominate conversations, you dominate outcomes. By controlling your reactions, you become a dead end for manipulation. There is nowhere for their tactics to land. And here's the cold truth. People respect those they cannot move. Even those who dislike you will adjust their behavior around you once they realize you are immune to emotional pressure. Starve the manipulator long enough, and they either retreat or submit. This is how you become untouchable. Not by fighting every battle, but by refusing to be emotionally conscripted into wars you never agreed to fight. Number 5, selective engagement. Choose the battlefield. The fifth Machiavellian trick is selective engagement, because power is not proven by participation, it is proven by choice. Weak men feel compelled to respond to everything. Strong men decide what deserves their energy. Every interaction is a battlefield, and not every battlefield is worth stepping onto. When you engage with fools, manipulators, or attention seekers, you elevate them to your level. That is charity disguised as confidence, and it always costs you. You must develop the discipline to ignore strategically. This is not avoidance, it is filtration. You listen without committing. You observe without reacting. You let others reveal whether they are worthy of your attention. Attention is power. Where you place it determines who rises and who fades. Most mind games collapse when you refuse to acknowledge them. Not confront, not explain, not counter, just decline. When someone throws bait, you don't bite, you step past it. This confuses them because their identity is tied to reaction. Without your engagement, they feel invisible, and invisibility terrifies insecure people. Selective engagement also means you never argue in public what should be resolved in private, and you never resolve in private what should be dismissed entirely. You understand context, timing, position. Machiavellianism is not brute force, it is precision. You conserve your voice so that when you speak, it carries weight. You conserve your presence so that when you arrive, it shifts the room. This requires ego death. The ego wants to prove. Power wants to prevail. When someone challenges you openly, the instinct is to dominate immediately. Resist it. Ask yourself, does winning this exchange improve my position? Or does it merely satisfy pride? If it's the latter, disengage. Pride is expensive. Silence is cheap and effective. The man who can walk away without resentment has already won. You also learn to engage only on your terms. You choose the time, the place, the tone. If those are not in your control, you delay. Delay is a weapon. Delay creates imbalance. Delay forces the other party to overextend. And while they overextend, you watch. Selective engagement makes you appear scarce. Scarcity creates value. People respect what they cannot easily access. They pursue clarity from you because you don't hand it out freely. This flips the dynamic completely. You are no longer reacting to others, you are filtering them. That filtration is dominance disguised as calm. Remember this: you don't need to defeat every opponent. You only need to outlast them. Choose your battles like a strategist, not a brawler. When you control where you engage, you control how the game is played. And when you control the game, mind games lose their teeth. Number 6, delay your responses. Let time work for you. The sixth Machiavellian trick is controlled delay, because urgency is the enemy of power. People who rush are easy to manipulate. People who pause force others to reveal themselves. Time is a psychological weapon when you know how to use it. When someone pressures you for an answer, a reaction, a decision, what they are really saying is, "I need control now," and you deny it. You slow the pace deliberately. You don't explain why. You don't apologize for it. You simply take your time. This immediately flips the hierarchy. The one who waits is not powerless. The one who waits is observing. Delay creates discomfort in others because it removes certainty. They begin to wonder what you're thinking, what you know, what you're planning. Their imagination does more damage to them than any response you could give. This is why rushed decisions are often emotional decisions, and emotional decisions are exploitable. You refuse to be rushed. You refuse to be cornered. You refuse to be pulled into artificial deadlines created to destabilize you. Instead, you let silence stretch. You let days pass. You let messages sit unanswered. Not out of neglect, but intention. Each moment of delay increases your leverage because it signals independence. It says, my world does not revolve around your urgency. And that message is deeply unsettling to those who seek control. Delayed response also sharpens your clarity. While others are reacting, you are thinking. While others are emotionally charged, you are strategically cold. This gap is where advantage lives. When you finally respond, your words land with authority because they are not reactive. They are deliberate. One sentence from you outweighs paragraphs from them. Delay also exposes manipulation. Those who are genuine respect your pace. Those who are manipulating grow impatient, push harder, reveal their intent. Time forces truth to surface, and you didn't have to do anything except wait. This is why powerful men are rarely in a hurry. They understand that patience is not weakness. It is dominance in slow motion. The world bends to those who are not desperate. Desperation leaks through speed. Control radiates through calm. You don't owe anyone instant access to your thoughts, decisions, or emotions. Access is privilege. Delay reminds them of that. Master this, and you will notice a shift. People begin to adjust their timing to yours. They wait. They follow up carefully. They measure their words. That is power without confrontation. Time is neutral, but in your hands it becomes a blade. Use it. Number 7, information control. Say less, no more. The 7th Machiavellian trick is information control, because knowledge is leverage and exposure is liability. Most people talk too much because they confuse transparency with honesty and honesty with strength. It isn't. Every unnecessary detail you share becomes a potential weapon in someone else's hands. So you reverse the flow. You listen more than you speak. You ask questions without revealing your position. You let others fill the silence with their stories, their opinions, their weaknesses. While they talk, they give you a map. While you stay reserved, you remain undefined. Undefined men are hard to corner. You never volunteer information unless it serves a purpose. You never overshare to build rapport. Rapport built on exposure is fragile. Rapport built on mystery is durable. When people don't know where you stand, they tread carefully. They test the ground. They reveal their agenda. This is how you stay ahead of mind games, by knowing more than you give away. You don't correct every assumption about you. Sometimes being misunderstood is strategically useful. It keeps people guessing. Guessing drains energy. Guessing creates mistakes, and mistakes create openings. You understand that words are irreversible. Once spoken, they cannot be recalled. So you weigh them. You compress them. You make them count. A man who speaks rarely but precisely carries more authority than one who fills the air. This is not shyness. It is discipline. You also recognize that questions are more powerful than statements. Statements reveal position. Questions extract information. So you ask calmly, casually, without urgency. You let others think they are in control while they disclose everything you need to know. Meanwhile, your inner world remains sealed. This imbalance is devastating in psychological warfare. They feel exposed. You feel prepared. And preparation is power. Information control also means you don't react to rumors, gossip, or secondhand narratives. Responding legitimizes them. Silence starves them. Truth does not need defense when you hold position. Those who seek to manipulate with half-truths rely on your emotional response to complete the lie. You refuse. You let uncertainty hang. People who matter will ask you directly. People who don't will move on. Either way, you win. Remember this rule. The less you say, the more people project onto you. And projection always reveals more about them than about you. You are not here to be transparent. You are here to be effective. Control information and you control outcomes. Number 8, predict human weakness, see the strings before they pull. The 8th Machiavellian trick is understanding human weakness so clearly that manipulation becomes visible before it's attempted. Most people are not complex. They are predictable. They are driven by fear, ego, validation, comfort, and control. Once you see which lever moves which person, the game is already over. You stop taking behavior personally and start reading it strategically. Anger usually hides insecurity. Excessive friendliness often hides an agenda. Moral outrage often hides envy or impotence. When someone plays mind games, they are exposing what they lack, and lack always leaks. Your job is not to judge it, but to catalog it. You watch patterns, tone shifts, timing, emotional spikes. People reveal their pressure points without realizing it. They repeat stories that flatter them. They defend things no one attacked. They seek reassurance in subtle ways. These are tells. You collect them quietly. You don't react in the moment because reaction gives away awareness. You store the information. Then you decide whether to use it or simply stay immune to it. This is cold power psychology. Knowing you could manipulate, but choosing restraint because restraint keeps you clean and in control. The man who understands weakness doesn't need to exploit it loudly. He simply positions himself where others cannot touch him. When you predict weakness, mind games lose surprise. Surprise is the manipulator's greatest weapon. Take it away, and they become clumsy. They rush, they overplay, they contradict themselves. Meanwhile, you remain composed because nothing they do feels new. You've already seen it coming. This creates an internal calm that others feel but cannot explain. They sense that you're ahead of them. That sense alone alters their behavior. They hesitate. They second guess. They grow cautious around you. This is dominance without aggression. You don't need to confront lies. You let them collapse under their own weight. You don't need to expose motives. You let them reveal themselves through repetition. The more emotionally intelligent you become, the less emotional you appear. That paradox is power. You move through social situations like a strategist, not a participant. You are present but not entangled, observant but not invested. This detachment allows you to see the strings clearly while others are tangled in them. And once you see the strings, they can no longer pull you. You are no longer reacting to behavior. You are anticipating it. Anticipation is the highest form of control. This is how you stop being a target and become an environment others must adapt to. Number 9, set non-negotiable boundaries. Make access expensive. The 9th Machiavellian trick is boundary enforcement, because access to you must come at a cost. People test boundaries instinctively, not because they are evil, but because power invites testing. If you have no clear limits, you become a playground for manipulation. So you draw lines early, quietly, and without drama. You don't announce them, you enforce them. Once, calmly, consistently. Boundaries are not threats, they are facts. When crossed, there is consequence, not emotional reaction, distance, withdrawal, reduced access, silence. This is where most men fail. They explain their boundaries, negotiate them, apologize for them. That turns a boundary into a suggestion. A suggestion invites disrespect. You do not negotiate your standards, you live them. When someone disrespects your time, you remove availability. When someone disrespects your words, you stop explaining. When someone disrespects your presence, you leave. No speeches, no warnings. Behavior teaches faster than words ever will. Machiavellian power lies in making people feel the cost of misalignment without ever raising your voice. This conditions the environment around you. People learn quickly how to treat you because you are consistent. Inconsistency invites games. Consistency ends them. Boundaries also reveal character. Those who respect them stay. Those who don't expose themselves as liabilities. Either outcome benefits you. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be untouchable. Masculine stoicism means you don't chase harmony at the expense of self-respect. Peace without respect is submission. Respect without peace is tension. You aim for neither. You aim for control. When your boundaries are firm, manipulators grow frustrated because their usual tactics stop working. Guilt fails, pressure fails, emotional leverage fails. They either adapt or disappear, and both outcomes remove threat. Remember this rule: the strongest boundary is not anger, it is indifference. Indifference communicates that someone has fallen beneath the threshold of your concern. That is devastating to ego-driven minds. You don't punish, you deprioritize. You don't confront, you withdraw. This keeps your hands clean and your position elevated. Over time, people approach you more carefully. They measure their words. They respect your time. They think twice before testing you. That is the compound effect of non-negotiable boundaries. You are not building walls, you are setting terms. And those terms define the power dynamic. This is how you make access to you expensive. And anything expensive is treated with care. Number 10, final ascension, become untouchable. The 10th and final Machiavellian trick is integration. Because power is not a tactic, it is an identity. Everything you've learned only works if it becomes who you are, not something you switch on and off. The goal is not to win mind games. The goal is to rise above the need to play them. When silence, restraint, patience, boundaries, and observation become automatic, people stop testing you, not because you're intimidating, but because you're immovable. You don't chase respect, you radiate it. You don't assert dominance, you embody it. This is the final ascension, internal authority. The man who is grounded in himself cannot be manipulated because there is nothing to grab onto. No emotional volatility, no hunger for validation, no need to prove. You move with calm certainty. You choose when to engage, when to withdraw, when to speak, and when to let silence do the work. This consistency creates a reputation that precedes you. People feel it before you say a word. They sense that pressure tactics won't work, that drama won't land, that mind games will fail. So they adapt or they stay away. Either way, you win without effort. This is cold power psychology at its peak, effortless control born from discipline. You understand that the strongest position is not dominance over others, but mastery over yourself. Once you achieve that, no one can rush you, shame you, bait you, or corner you. You are sovereign, and sovereignty is the rarest trait in the modern world. Most people are enslaved by their emotions, their impulses, their need to be seen. You are not. You are deliberate. You are selective. You are calm under pressure. That calm becomes your shield. Your silence becomes your blade. Your boundaries become your law, and your patience becomes your advantage. This is how you become untouchable. Not loud, not aggressive, not cruel, but precise, controlled, and unreachable. If this mindset resonated with you, if you felt the shift while listening, then you already understand what most never will. Now make it permanent. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and keep sharpening your edge.